I don't exist again.
Oh no.
This is just how Raina exists now. This is just how Raina exists with her camera not working properly. Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to Fate's End, a homebrew Dungeons and Dragons game driven by Fate. I will be your tale weaver for the evening. First, we want to shout out RPG Sounds for the sound sets that we use. We also want to shout out Nine Realms Gaming. They create top-notch gaming accessories from the finest woods this realm has to offer. You can visit their website at ninerealmsgaming.com and use our exclusive partner code LIAR10 to get 10% off. We also want to shout out Mithril Armory. They create unique tabletop RPG items for everyone to enjoy on their adventures. You can grab their 10, 20, and D&D graphic tees on their website now at mithrilarmory.com. Pretty short amount of announcements. I do want to point something out because Christian pointed this out to me and I think it's rather poetic. So today is actually the 2-year anniversary for Fate's End. And we're going back to Lacambria this episode. So we're going back to where it all started, and I think that's just really goosebumps a little bit here. But yeah, I thought that was really cool. It was really cool. And also happy MLK Day, everyone. Hope everyone has been having an awesome Monday. And I hope that this adds to your Monday. Yes, happy Monday, Danielle. Seeing if we got a new one shouting out in chat here. Oh, yes, welcome, Disciple of Hammond. All right, other than that, the time has come. Let us draw our cards for tonight's episode of Fate's End. And we are back. So, last session, you all had finished killing the dragon. You returned to the village and attempted to bring everyone who you had sent to, that was in the village to the Feywild back. And you were able to bring back about 25% of those people. The rest of them wanted to stay in the Feywild. I mean, they just came from an icy tundra, tormented by a dragon. They had already fled Lacambria, and they were now in what they imagined is paradise. Warm summers and just beautiful landscapes and very friendly locals who want to give them food and wine.
For no reason that they should think about it too hard.
You finished that and went... you also looted the dragon's lair. And there was so much money in the dragon's lair that you turned it into your own personal vault. Or bank. International Bank of the Silent. You went back to Lacambria, and upon your arrival, you discovered a letter, Ludin, left behind, or sent to Saltstone for you. And in that letter, you discovered that your brother Lucidius had taken on a deal. You don't know what the deal is, but he had taken on a deal to free your mother from hell, her soul from hell. And you gather from this letter that you may never see him again. We ended as Ludin decided to take a relaxing hot springs soak in Revenier's old retreat under the steps of Saltstone. And unless I'm forgetting anything, that is where we pick up tonight's
Yeah, you
session.
forgot one big thing.
Did I forget something? What did I forget?
Yeah, there's some earthquakes.
Oh, yes. And earthquakes have been happening quite frequently, not just on the material plane, but felt across all the planes, even in the Feywild. So we pick back up as you all take a long rest at Saltstone, I'm guessing, unless you don't want to take... I'm guessing you want to take a long rest at Saltstone.
It's about to go down tomorrow. I'm sleeping.
You all take a long rest at Saltstone. Oh, Karen, possess. Yes, thank you, Danielle. Thank you, Danielle. Karen, one of Pappy Muntz's ex-wives who had died and haunt Pappy Muntz, had possessed Ludin very briefly until Esperise and Finali were able to exorcise Karen from his body.
Through the power of love and friendship.
And violence.
Lots of that.
That's true. Esperise did kill her, basically.
And speaking...
Went the direction of, I need to hold Ludin's hand to make sure that he's no longer possessed. And Esperie went to, get the fuck out of his body, of getting him unpossessed.
She just did it in the background while they're...
In addition to that, speaking of Karen, Pappy Muntz also signed Ludin's contract after bringing his family back safely to the material plane. Pappy signed the contract, ensuring that once the final blow is dealt and Pappy's full name is spoken, he will take on the responsibility of the death and the loss of soul, and Ludin's father will not. Now we jump back in to Saltstone, where you all take your long rest, and you awake early morning. It's still winter. The sun kind of cutting up over the edge of the horizon of the sea. Some chunks of ice kind of frozen to where the mist and the breaking of the waves kind of chunked up over the edge, and you find breakfast prepared for you down in the feast hall.
Aw, who made this?
Bacon?
Better not be.
No.
No, there's no bacon. You have noticed
from-
that Sylvia has moved all the pigs to, she has turned the training area outside with all the dummies into a pig pen, a very large pig pen for all of Snonk's many babies.
Is Snog still inside or is he outside too?
He's outside with his babies.
Any new ones since we've been gone?
We had a talk, so hopefully not.
Roll a d6.
It hasn't, I don't think it's been long enough,
We've been gone
gestation-wise.
4 days.
Yeah, you've only been gone for
Are there any significantly pregnant cows walking about
I mean,
that he
it's,
doesn't know the name of, as has already been established?
it's only been a couple days. There's no way that anyone could gestate and get pregnant in that amount of time.
Well, Finn
Let's
will
check.
go outside and let Snog out to go inside if he wants to follow him for the morning. Just for the morning.
He, it's only been a couple days, so he's still rather fat. So he, he will follow you, but it's just like the, like straining wobble into Saltstone Keep.
Good job, Snog. You should do like a training session with Luden. I bet he could get you to lose like 20 pounds all on its own. So Finn will go up to the table.
And Snonk will just come and just like he'll follow you. It takes him a lot longer to get to the table than you do, but once you sit down, he will just kind of like, you know how like some animals, like when they lay down, they don't tuck their legs underneath, but they just splay them out forward and splay them out behind them like back. That's essentially what Snonk does. And he just lays his third, fourth chin on the ground.
Oh,
Okay. So, anybody else feel the earthquakes last night?
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with this region, but are these normal seismic activity?
No.
Didn't think so.
I didn't feel any earthquakes at all. Was it really big? What happened? I just slept through it, very tired.
Oh, did you see?
I guess. What happened?
Good.
The earth shook.
Like all of it,
All,
or
all of it I could feel. I don't know how far they went out.
Hmm.
It was pretty bad.
Didn't when we went to the Feywild to pick people up, they had also felt earthquakes, right?
I think Prey's the only one that knows.
Yeah, I don't think we asked him about it.
You didn't ask
But,
him.
Oh, I thought we knew that. Never mind.
Well,
Prey's
Prey had
Yeah.
sent a message, yeah.
yeah, Prey's all just been nursing a bit of a hangover. And she'll just
More
have
alcohol.
Yeah, what we felt went a bit further than just here. And she'll like motion toward her eye. It's over there too.
Well,
It's gotta be Vera. Every time we kill one of the 7, probably that power goes back to her.
I want to kill everyone. Just be done with this. Okay. One thing at a time, I guess.
Yes. Well, today we are heading in the direction of La Cambria. Is that correct? Nothing else we need to do here.
Nothing that I need to do.
We should probably talk a little bit about, well, the last 7, right? That we're gonna go up against. We usually have a plan.
We have a plan to draw him out, and a plan to pull him out of your father, but the in-between we are less clear on, I suppose.
Well, with the last one, I feel like our plan really worked because it was like the 7 of divination, right? And so we lured them into somewhere where their power really didn't reach as far. But with this one, it's abjuration, isn't it?
I think so, yeah.
I think a
we
few
do
of us.
Kind of arcana check on what that could mean.
Abjuration.
Like abjuration, how are we likely to get screwed over by abjuration? Or is it too early to make any kind of guess?
I mean, I think it's too early to make any type of guess. You would have, like, if you're proficient in Arcana, I think you would have basic knowledge in, like, what kind of abjuration spells roughly consist of.
Well, go good.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I don't really know a whole lot about abjuration, but
It means protection, mainly, guarding, making you more difficult to hit, making you more resistant to damage, and then sometimes making it so it is very, very difficult to enact magic, but not always. But I would be surprised if that did not come to play. I'm not altogether sure. I mean, what we understand of this creature, it is called the Veil Walker, right? And we believe that it is guarding the path to the Shadowfell. Am I remembering this correctly?
I don't know if it was that specific. I think it was just the idea that that's where they decided to summon it the first time because there was lots of pain near there, and it was out of the way. It might be a creature of the Shadowfell. I think that that's what we had come to know, but I think the biggest things that I'm thinking about are, I'm gonna be fine. My strategy for taking out anything is usually the same one. What about you guys?
Well, if he does do something to prevent magic, then I'm going to have a very difficult time. So my plan is to be very far away.
Okay.
Do my best.
Okay.
is there a way, if he tries to prevent magic, to prevent him from preventing magic?
I mean the same thing that I always do of, no spell from you, but there's only so many times I can do that.
Right.
I mean, are the rest of you able to work without magic? Magic is kind of all I am. So.
Do we know if it actually enhances magic like that?
No idea.
Or do we just speculate?
If he has 8-level spell slots, I would be very surprised if he did not cast anti-magic field.
What about
Why don't we just go ask the Sparrowhawks what he did?
Yeah, there was a group, right? Sparrowhawks and
That's a good
whatnot.
idea.
Let's go. When there should be a coalition. Are they in Lacambria or did they go somewhere else?
Well, we have the Sending Stone.
Yeah, we could talk to Luden's girlfriend,
Yeah, Hennedy.
right?
We could call Hennedy. I mean, it might be a longer conversation than Sending Stones can handle.
Are you still on a talking basis with her, Luden?
We do also have a direct line to Kaya if we want to talk to Kaya, but
Oh yeah, we could also go talk to the other dude, Cassius. He knows all about them. Like a lot about them.
Did he go and fight this creature?
No, but Cassius. Luden looks around. to make sure that Cassius isn't around. Remember, and then
Yeah,
Living
that's
Motions cut
right.
his hand and put over that.
That's true.
So he probably knows more about this than any of us. And Finn, what did you see? Like this, we got a lot of information in here. Let's just go talk to
Cassius
them.
not have questions about why he has such knowledge, or does the...
I don't know, Finn. What do you have questions?
I don't
Or did
know. I mean, just try not to imply anything about Vera and we should be fine, right? He's been researching all this time too. So maybe he thinks that he got all this information from that.
Tell us all about Vera without actually knowing anything about Vera. There's no reason you have this information.
Well, we
Well,
just
we
have to
can-
know about the Veil Walker. We don't need to know about Vera.
We can approach him and ask, "Hey, through your research, did you learn anything about the Veil Walker?"
Okay.
We don't need to even mention Vera, so let's just not mention Vera. Like at all.
All right.
Oh wait, well, yeah. Somebody ask him. Where is it? Is he here? He's here. Right?
Cassius!
I don't remember where we put Cassius.
He's here.
He's like upstairs. Let's go say hi.
Yeah, like he has like
he's
a
in-
room and stuff.
He's in the library. He's in the library.
Cassius!
Okay, you guys are in the feast hall. Okay.
Yeah.
So
You're
you're
all down here.
Hey, Snomp,
The servants
can you go
here,
get
and they just go
Cassius?
get him. So Finn thinks that
Yeah, you
wherever he
can- you
goes,
can
people
still
hear him.
you can still
No.
sneak to Snog, right?
Yes.
With your beast.
Well, I don't wanna waste a spell slot, so I'm just gonna ask him in common. Can you go get Cassius for us? What was his name? Oh God.
He can't climb up the stairs.
You ask Snonk that in common, and he just kind of picks himself up, and he just kind of wobbles over you, and he sits down and he opens his mouth
I guess
because he
this is a
thinks that you're
pride.
telling him that you got a good berry for him.
He's on a diet. Don't feed him.
Training. Isn't he in training to learn like commands and stuff and be a military?
I don't know if he
is.
knows Cassius's name though. It's only been 4 days too.
It's only been 4 days, guys.
How long does it take?
I don't like toddlers
How long
don't
did it
learn
take
that
up
fast.
to learn?
I can get him. I can go get Cassius. I'll be right back.
I'll just shovel all of my food that's on the table into Snonk's mouth.
It goes into his mouth, dripping down the sides. There's grits going down the side. It looks like slop. He just gnaws on it. It just goes down onto his belly, and he's the happiest pig that's ever pigged.
Is the library upstairs or is it
It's
on the
upstairs.
first floor?
It's upstairs. You're on the first floor. It is on the second floor.
Finn's gonna dash up the stairs. Cassius! And then he's gonna burst through the library. Cassius, are you in here?
You immediately see, just kind of like holding a book, standing next to one of the writing desks near the center of the library. Cassius is standing, and he has a couple candles lit out, and he just, as you kind of burst through the room, he just kind of like, very, very kind of startled, looks over at you. Finn.
Hey, I missed you. Did you miss me?
He gives you like a strange look, like, well, I am glad that you're back.
I'm gonna take that as a yes. Do you want to meet us down in the breakfast hall?
Sure, is anything wrong?
Oh, no. We just wanted to ask you a few questions. We haven't really come by in a while, and we wanted to know some of the information you learned in your books.
Course. And he will follow you down to the feast hall.
Finn will hold his hand on the way down.
You skip together, I guess. What am I saying? Cassius doesn't skip. Cassius doesn't skip. And you guys, you guys watch as Cassius and Finalai walk into the room.
Found him.
We have questions.
So I've heard. What can I do to help?
These people like to cast a lot of magic and are afraid that they might not be able to do that against the Veil Walker. Is this... You getting what I'm putting down?
Yes, I'm getting what
Verified.
you're putting down.
Have you uncovered your research about the Veil Walker?
Well, as I've told you before, the Veil Walker does cast abjuration magic, and as far as what types of abjuration magic, I'm sure it's gonna be very powerful. So, though I can't tell you exactly what kind of spells it will cast, I can tell you what it could, the possibilities of it, and some of the most powerful abjuration magic involves banishing to the other planes and imprisonment.
Okay.
Invulnerability, and
Ooh,
of
that's a
course, anti-magic fields. So yes, I can see why your friends would be rather nervous about the Veil Walker.
Okay.
Are there
Does
any,
that answer your question?
Are there any advantages we can kind of equip ourselves with before we go against it?
I'm trying to think of what could possibly give you an advantage.
I mean, if he casts invulnerability, we just need to leave. It's that simple.
We can't leave. We have to kill.
Ray, I can't do anything if he's invulnerable.
We die glorious in battle.
We're not dying. No one's dying.
I'm the only one not dying.
I'm actively dying. He is correct.
I'm also actively dying.
Like, oh,
No one's dying!
Okay, so there isn't much that we can do for planning in general. It just
Well-
sounds like, oh,
Ludin, before I continue, did you ever tell Cassius about your shadow situation?
I just thought he assumed because everybody just doesn't see I have one.
Okay.
I can tell him. Whenever Cassius was around, when we first got him,
I guess it would be easy to
needed
assume,
a
yeah.
big-
We
Big conversation.
We frequently forgot that he was there and talked about extremely private matters.
It's true. Yeah, that makes sense.
We're arguing. Cassius is just like eating his cereal. We're just just
He's
another.
used to it.
Ludin, I believe you've come into contact with a Veil Walker before. It's the reason why you have no shadow.
Mm-hmm.
What have you experienced with? How do you even know how you lost it? It says that the Veil Walker, or from what I know about the Veil Walker, it consumes shadows to strengthen itself.
Well, I know that it ate my shadow and my brother's shadow. It is my dad's, or has possessed my. They're working together in some type of way. I know that it probably has some it has some weird packs to it gave me power for a little bit. So I'm guessing it can do that. I have no idea. I don't know. I don't know how much was Dad and how much was Veil Walker. For the most part, though, I mean, it seemed like it wanted control rather than protection. It was good at hiding, and it could manipulate the world around it. So, whatever all of those things mean, I feel like my solution to still shoot, and hopefully a normal arrow will still hit it normally. Otherwise, I don't really know much about it. Even the little book that I found about the Shadowfell, I decided not to read.
Well, I do think that with this particular creature, it's going to be absolutely necessary to have the upper hand. You all gonna summon it, correct? Some ritual, I've heard. So perhaps it would be wise to lay some sort of trap so that this creature could not cast such high-level spells right off the bat. It'd give you some time, at least.
That's a good idea. Is there a way we can get rid of our shadows? Maybe if you're like in darkness, does that get rid of your shadow or make it bigger? Or does it just make everything one big shadow?
Well, you could always just put light either above you. Well, can you see in darkness, Finn?
No. This is a question.
I've read much about shadows, and it's not something that you want to get rid of. He kind of glances at you, Ludin.
Would not recommend.
It's said that a person's shadow it's almost as if it's a part of your soul. It's why it's with you all the time. And when you lose it, there's a piece of you that is gone. You don't... It's not that you can feel it, but it's like something's wrong, and there's something not there anymore. And he kind of glances at you, Ludin. Like, there's a lot of side-eyeing going on as he kind of explains this.
Ludin's just... So what are you trying to say, Cassius? I mean, I feel good.
I mean no offense. It's what I've read.
Oh, okay.
I would not pry to ask you what you feel is missing.
I feel great, Cassius. I feel all here.
And I am glad. I'm only relaying the information that I have read.
I appreciate it, Cassius. I think we got what we need, guys.
Ludin seems pretty soulful to me.
Yeah.
Right. So if
soulful.
we want to think tactically, what do we have that might prevent a being from casting magic for a short amount of time? So I'm getting off these kind of spells. Do we have things like silencing areas? I am able to do quite a bit with light. I believe Prearia can as well, if we just want to get the shadows away from him or anything like that.
Or perhaps where you summon, you could place a glyph of warding with those spells, so that when it arrives, it goes off.
That's a very good idea, thank you. I am much better at destroying things in the moment than doing any kind of preparation, but I will assist in any way that I can.
Ooh, I think I have some kind of glyph of warding. I'll check.
Like a whole person. I also think the easiest way to make sure he doesn't take our shadows, or your shadows, would just be make the entire roof of the Undercity light.
Is that a prayer?
Or can you cast light on top of something that you have, and just put it on your head? That way the shadow is always beneath your feet.
Like a little hat.
Yes.
We could wear light bulbs on our heads or something.
I like this. I like this very much.
Wear any arrow. Cast light on the arrow and just...
Yeah, I do think we have ways to avoid the shadow situation. I believe multiple of us have ways to produce an enormous amount of light. I believe that both Prearia and I can bring sunlight itself into the space. I love the idea of making the entire ceiling into light, and the glyph of warding is fantastic. If I'm not incorrect, based on this, the temple at Dawn's Rise, then we might be able to set those glyphs up the day before and feed magic into them, and then rest, and then whatever magic we feed into them would go off at a specific moment. Is that right?
I think so long as we time the summoning correctly.
So, Lauren, my understanding, based on something that I did a long time ago on an early episode of Iron Valor, is that I would be able to feed a 9th level counterspell into a glyph of warding for whenever he casts a 9th level spell. That would only go off if he cast a 9th level spell. Then I would be able to take a long rest, and the next day, if we summoned him and he cast a 9th level spell, that would go off, and I would still have my 9th level for that day.
I believe that is correct.
Yes, bitch! Okay, cool, great.
I believe that is correct.
Great, love that.
I can silence as a ritual wherever he is going to be. I just need that time right before we summon. Silence right on top of that.
Depending on how many times, Finlay, you are able to cast Glyph of Warding, we could create multiple of these. So we could make it, your Glyph of Warding would go off when he arrives, he's automatically in a bubble of silence and not able to do anything. And then other ones for different contingencies. We would essentially just have kind of like a minesweeper labyrinth of contingencies on the ground when he arrives.
I could just imagine him like pop it up, and then it'll be like, well again, and the spider.
I'm just over here like I wrote all this dialogue out.
Oh, dialogue!
Oh, son, you.
I wrote all this dialogue out, and you guys are ruining it.
I was gonna give it up.
He can still like telepathically tell us things. He just can't.
Okay.
Telepathic speech is definitely an abjuration spell, I'm sure.
Well, depending on how powerful you want me to make it, I can cast it at least 3 times.
Fantastic. That's wonderful. Great. So, I love this. Esperis is going to spend the rest of breakfast drawing out, like, on essentially a piece of parchment, like, whatever the patch of land looks like, and then all the little dots and all the spells they're going to cast into these glyphs of warding and just be doing tactical stuff, while other people have other conversations.
Wow, guys, we've come so far from our first fight. This is so exciting.
I want to go to the library and just look up what abjuration spells are. I just want to look what they all can do.
I'll come help you.
Like, you just want a summary as to what abjuration is? Okay.
No, I want to know what the freaking spells you could do with abjuration.
Like a spell list?
Yep, of all things abjuration.
Sure. Go, Finn.
I want to be prepared.
I'll put this in chat for you.
I'm a really fast reader, so I can help you, Ludin.
But like, I need the information. So it's like, do you need to help Esperis with the magic stuff?
She seems like she's kind of engrossed in her own thing, and Samson knows more about that sort of thing than I do. I just sort of go with my gut and draw whatever I think looks right.
That sounds so dangerous.
Yeah, I live on the edge.
Okay.
Sometimes I draw pictures of like smiley faces, people's faces, and that's like the base for my for my ritual circle.
That's scary, then. But yeah, I mean, if you want to, sure. If you want to sit down and read, we will be reading though. Okay.
Yeah, we can read.
All right.
Should I call for some tea?
No, just reading.
Okay.
Awesome.
No snacks or anything like. Okay. Just reading.
You can go get snacks in the kitchen if you would like. Awesome. So I'm gonna try and read and figure out what all of these spells are.
Me too.
That this dude is gonna try and cast. This dude being my dad. And figure out like, yeah, what are they do basically.
All right, well, I sent you a link. So as you're up there with Finneline, you're looking through essentially just a book that's roughly just about abjuration magic in general. At the beginning of it's about the history of abjuration magic, and then you get into you flip past that and you get into the more like beginner basic levels, and then the more extreme high-level magic.
Does Loon just skip to the last chapter?
Yeah, literally,
let's
it
just
was
go
like-
to the extreme magic.
He skips to the extreme magic
Okay, let's see.
chapter.
So for our audience who don't know, there are things like imprisonment, invulnerability, prismatic wall, anti-magic field, holy aura. What the frick is mind blank?
It looks like something I did to you know who.
What the
I don't
deuce?
know if that's actually what it
Until the spell ends. Oh, it's willing. Ha ha ha. So it's all good.
Yeah, it makes you invulnerable to psychic damage.
Oh, that's pretty smart.
Yeah, he's
Hey,
probably
hey.
not.
I think Ludit's probably calling. Hey, Asperis, you ever heard of mind blank? You got that?
No!
Let me keep. Like, that would have been cool to have. You know, it would have been great.
I only have one 9th level spell,
I mean, this is.
and it's gone now.
Oh well, you should probably get that fixed. Okay.
You feel warm heat, like as two vibrant balls of light start burning into the wall.
What's imprisonment?
Imprisonment. You create a magical restraint to hold a creature that you can see within range. The target must succeed on a wisdom saving throw or be bound by the spell. If this succeeds, it is immune to this spell if you cast it again. While affected by the spell, the creature doesn't need to breathe, eat, or drink, and it doesn't age. You can't locate where it is. When you cast a spell, you choose one of the forms of imprisonment: burial, chaining, hedge prison, minimus containment, slumber,
Minimus
ending
containment is putting you inside the little gem. Like, he can just rip us out. We cannot be located. We cannot be found. He can just put us in a little gem or bury us forever or chain us forever into place. The duration is until dispelled, so forever.
I'm gonna be honest, y'all. My dad sounds pretty dope.
Sounds scary.
Like, I don't like. Obviously, we got to get it out of him, but like,
This feels like an important distinction.
definitely.
Do you
my
think
dad.
your dad is doing this?
Oh yeah.
Or do you think he is possessed by something?
No, this is him. Yeah, this seems like. I don't
Seems
know.
like your
See,
dad.
Esperis, y'all like, okay, everyone, y'all need to realize, like, I knew my dad, but I mean, I knew him for like 5 years. In 3 of those years, like, I wasn't even online, so to speak. You know, it was like 2 years. And even then, like, I don't know what's been messed with or not messed with. I mean, I know him, but I don't know him. But like, this sounds like Archbane blood, don't it? Like, imprisonment, invulnerability, prismatic. Like, this sounds like stuff that I would do if I could do it, you know? Like, I wouldn't mind blank somebody. I got you
Loon,
back, you know?
You're not gonna become a 7, right?
Nah.
It would be pretty cool though.
It is pretty
Nah.
much.
That's like serving Vera and stuff. I don't need to do all that.
Yeah, you don't want to do that.
No.
She demands too much.
I don't want to serve anyone. But all right, I understand all this stuff.
Oh. So what takes wizards centuries of study, Luden Archbane gathers in a single afternoon.
He only knows
I'm a
the
fast-
name. He only knows the names of spells. It's not like he knows how to cast these spells.
What can I say, Esperis? I read a little faster than you. That's all that matters, right?
Oh, snap. Burn.
Anyway, yeah, I mean, most of this stuff, I mean, it's not like I can defend against it anyway. That's all on y'all. I'm just gonna hide. So, I really don't know how to plan against this stuff. Like, this stuff is like, this. I'm glad we saved him for last, because I don't know if we would have made it.
So, looking at this list that Luden's got out here that he's reciting from memory,
Yeah.
I'm starting.
You can bring the book with you to the rest of the
Not be
group.
doing this.
You can check the book out of the library.
We don't have space. Our bag of holding is full of platinum.
I thought you put it inside the thing. It's all good. You put it in the.
What I got? I got an idea. I am looking at all this stuff, and it's sure everything about this abjuration is so defensive, right? I'm not sure that if this thing's got all of this at disposal, if Lou's dad has all this as at its disposal, I don't think we can do anything to it. There's so much counterspelling and vulnerabilities and all that. What if we just took all the magic out of the fight? And that way we're prepared to come in with no magic on for anyone.
I mean,
Like
I
an
would be
anti-magic
so
field?
down for that. Like that would be, but
For everyone.
Then we just throw hands.
Well, I think we go more primitive with it, you know, like maybe we get up some TNT explosives maybe for some of us to use this, maybe a large trebuchet of sorts. I don't know. Set some, you know, non-magical traps.
How are you thinking of getting the magic out of? Are you able to eliminate the magic from the field?
That's a good question. I think would probably have to talk to someone to get maybe something made, perhaps, or
well, can't
maybe
Finn just do the thing that he
enlist some
did?
help from somebody.
Didn't he
Can't,
just do
but
the thing that we did with the other one?
Well, I have anti-magic field, but we might
No, I'm
have
talking
to
about,
expand
like-
it.
Like the whole. Remember when we did?
Yeah, we made the circus.
Yeah,
The temple.
yeah.
yeah.
Why don't we just do that?
Well, we could do the temple, but the temple doesn't stop magic. It is magic, right?
Well, can't Finn determine whatever's inside of there in the sense of in the conditions that are in there? What if no
Yeah,
magic
so-
can be cast in there? And that was
Well,
the rule.
So I pulled up a fancy book that just says all the cleric spells, and it says that that's not within the limitation of the spell. So maybe we might have to cast it at a higher level to accomplish that feat. But that would be it says here GM's discretion. I don't know what that means.
I
Neither do
want
I.
to. This is a very interesting idea. I just want to be as clear as possible. I am completely incapable of doing anything that isn't magic. I am not smart enough to use technology. I'm not dexterous enough to start off a bomb. I am not strong enough to fight. I totally understand if this is the direction we want to go, but I will not be able to help in any way.
I don't think I'd be able to do a whole lot either.
So it would really just be a 1v1 of Lieutenant Dad.
Well, essentially what we'd have
Bare
to
knuckle
do,
brawl, baby.
I think what we'd have to do is trap him in a certain area where we could enforce that no magic policy, but only in that area. Right? Is that possible?
Anything is
Well,
possible.
okay.
I mean, we were gonna
That
absolutely. I mean, we were going to rain down lava from the sky. I think that our imagination is
Okay,
the
but-
only thing that's
so
keeping us
with-
away from doing that.
So with an anti-magic field, we cannot cast magic into it at all.
Okay.
So we wouldn't be able to be outside of it and like attack from outside with anything other. Luden would be able to, and then anyone who can attack with weapons.
I just want to remind you guys that the ritual you have to do in order to summon
Is also magic.
is also magic.
Yeah,
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
we just gotta hold them actions to cast the other things after
I just want to make sure. I just want to make
Okay, yeah,
sure
yeah.
you guys know that.
we're sitting there. Work.
Why isn't it
And
working?
also, magical items are no longer magical items in any way within
Yeah.
an anti. Yeah.
Yep.
I think that
I think it's a
whoever
bad
this
idea.
guy is.
No, I think my idea was a bad idea. Go ahead. I'm so sorry.
No, you're okay. I was just thinking that Floppy the Happy Sword would.
Slowly.
Floppy. Hello.
Oh,
Yeah, you said my name.
Kind of, but I don't think
No,
he
no,
would
no.
make-
You said slowly. I heard it. I heard you say my name.
What?
Slowly go
what
back to
I
sleep, buddy.
wanted-
Go back to sleep.
I
It's all
don't
good.
sleep. I'm already. I'm always ready. I'm always swole.
Well, I need you to prepare. I need you to focus. Read this book, okay? Read this. I need you to understand all of these spells.
I don't have any
He's a sword.
eyes.
I don't think he can read.
Why don't you turn him into binoculars that have knives on the ends so that he can read what's going on?
I like to imagine there's a button so that you can be like.
So here is what I am imagining based on my understanding of Luden's spectacular memory and my little drawings on a piece of paper here at the table. With a glyph of warding, you can essentially set up a trap that will trigger at a moment that you specify. So my ideal would be we would have just built in one 9th level counter spell for if he casts a 9th level spell of any kind. So that, or a very powerful spell. But you could even call it, if you were on a scale of 1 to 9, you would call it a 9th level spell.
That's such a strange unit, like 1 to 9, not 1 to 10.
Or let's say an 8th or a 9th level spell, then it would automatically counterspell it. And then we could have another of the 3 glyphs of warding be set for as soon as he tries to cast any spell, or he tries to speak, that Luden's silence would overcome him and he would not be able to speak. And whatever third one, I don't know if we want to have another counterspell built in, or I was thinking perhaps we might have a mass cure wounds, or something that if we have 2 or more people unconscious, automatically mass cure wounds. But just so we have those targets in lock, so he gets there, can accomplish nothing for a significant period of time.
It looks like silence will be the way to go.
Mm-hmm.
Almost every one of these require him to speak.
Usually.
So, literally, I'm going through my memory banks, and there's 5 on here that don't require him to speak, and that's it. So we can shut him all the way down if we just shh.
I don't know if I trust the components. Sometimes I suspect that Esperis is casting spells without speaking, but I think she is. I don't know if it's true or not.
This is fair.
Also,
you don't know.
we don't know. We would never know. For some reason we're all friends now. Anyway, I was thinking that I could also turn into a beholder, and that might help with anti-magic stuff, and I could turn that on and off on my turn. So that's the thing too.
Can you explain what a beholder is?
Sure, no problem.
I want to roll. I want to roll to see if I know. That's a religion, right?
He beholds.
This would be a history. Wait, you're joking. You're not being serious.
Can he turn into a beholder?
He can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know that's
Dope.
pretty crazy.
So I'm gonna pull out the dagger.
This fight is getting
Samir-
significantly
Samir-
more complicated by the moment.
I'm gonna pull out
We do
Samir's
how we
dagger.
plan things.
I'll use the gemstone on the top that I stole from Samir. That's my heirloom from him as my patron. I'll use that as my component, and I'll cast shape change. I'll turn into a beholder.
Whoa! I'm gonna run over and hug him. He's so cute.
I'd hug you back. I have no arms.
You have eye stalks.
Eye stalks.
You had eye stalks.
It's just like an 8-armish eyes. It's awful.
You can see so much. So what can you do as a beholder?
Oh, so much.
All the things. All the things.
So we win.
Well, I could turn off all the magic.
Okay. I imagine your voice is much deeper as a beholder, Daniel, so.
I like to imagine that it's super scraggly. like shrill even. That'd be crazy.
Oh god.
You don't have to be a beholder anymore, Samson.
Can you just turn off its magic?
So here's what I do. And I back up. I'm floating like as high as I can. I turn on the eye, nothing changes. But if I shine the anti-magic cone at the entire party, what happens visually to all of us?
Oh, Esperis looks like shit. Burns everywhere, red eyes, white hair, somewhat skinny shoulders. She looks like she hasn't eaten in days.
He grabs Snog and pulls him away from it.
Yeah, Snog sees Esperise and just jumps up and runs like hell. You've never
He loses
seen
5 pounds.
He loses 5 pounds in water weight immediately as he runs like hell from the banshee that has been revealed.
Ludin screams at Samson, "You can do that! You're the most powerful thing! Oh my god! Stop it! Stop it! You're killing her!"
It's fine, Ludin. He's not. That's what she looks like on a. I'm not going to say anything.
It's too late. You've already said so.
Oh my goodness.
What happens? Everybody else is also covered with magic. What happens to you guys?
Not anything as dramatic.
I don't know. My ring stopped glowing.
I guess my
tattoo?
armor wouldn't work, right? Yeah, my tattoo. I guess it just kind of like the snake like disappears, and I'm like, no.
It just, instead of moving around, it just like fades into your skin for a second.
I
It's
have
a normal
glamour studded.
tattoo.
Oh,
Normal.
I have
Becomes
glamour
normal.
studded armor too. So does that mean Are we naked? Like, is our armor?
Is the
I
armor?
think our armor is still, its base properties are still armor. It just it
So
no
we're not
longer
naked.
is magical.
It's not shiny.
Yeah,
It was
it's so
shimmery
funny
and
to
shiny, and
yeah.
now it's just tarnished looking.
The snake, having seen Esperise, was like, "Ah!" And then it stops and it's just like,
I'll shriek and blink, like, and so there's no colon for a second, then it comes back on.
It's like, oh, she's fine. Oh,
whoa!
wait
that
a
was
second.
like so
Wait a
cool.
second. Does Prearia look normal?
Yeah, what are Briari's limbs doing?
I have no idea how much
She-
Cipriari is
Let's
magical.
turn it into a tree.
Does she look normal? Could she just not live with magic and be fine?
No, this supersedes it. I feel like this because it's like a curse. Like
No magic. It's not a
It's
magical
super
curse.
special.
it's
It's in the blood.
The
The
curse is,
DNA.
no, the curse is permanent. I
Well,
would
it says
imagine-
that the magic of Fest is suppressed while she's. Oh, yeah, sorry. It's just suppressed for an hour from what I'm reading, but you have more information.
my guess was that it stopped while she's in it. Like it doesn't continue while she's in the
Like it doesn't advance, but it's still there.
Yeah.
Um,
yeah.
The curse is permanent.
Yeah, the curse. Yeah, so I guess essentially you could be like a potted plant for the rest of your life, and you could just live in a room with an anti-magic cone.
Do you mean the dream?
You never get to go anywhere. You're locked in a room for the rest of your life
Oh god.
she's already gonna be
with
a
a
tree.
light bulb pointed at you.
Yeah, the
I'll
tree
just say-
sounds better.
I'll just send my girlfriend, who was also likewise trapped for a while, just around the world, and I'll just live vicariously.
There you
through
go.
her eyeballs.
There you go. There you go.
Okay.
So maybe we could work with that.
Yeah. I mean, just shine the light. I mean, he'd have to do it after he's summoned. That
Well-
plus
Yeah, once he hits and like we get all our spells off on him, all the glyphs go off, I can be like, bam, turn it on. You know? And then
I love-
then
I-
I'll be like, bam, turn it off, turn it back on.
I love our new style of fighting. Samson turns into a very eclectic creature, and we just do our strategy around whatever that creature can do.
Never
So
be
yeah.
able to see it coming.
I turn back into a regular person, disappointed.
Yeah, it's like that was. Oh man.
Okay, well, I thought it was funny.
Get this guy's self back up and.
We've already seen you now.
That's fine.
And no one's opinion has changed. Nudge Ludin in the ribs.
Oh, I mean, the opinion was. Okay, yeah. Let's go then. I mean, like this seems like we're good.
Okay, so basically we set up glyphs of warding, set up the spells we have planned like a trap, and then Samson turns into a beholder and shines all his light on this thing, and it goes, ah, I'm dead, and then we win.
I mean, that sounds about right.
I mean, that's kind of the plan.
That's it.
You know,
Should we-
I am worried about getting inside of the city. I'm worried about that a little bit. Like, I'm concerned that they're not going to like us.
What was that?
I'm concerned we didn't exactly leave Dig Brand with a good reputation if they see us coming back.
What are they gonna do? Really,
I
Samson?
mean,
At this point, what are they gonna do?
Look, that's fair. I could drop some bodies anyway.
I
No,
freaking
but
dare the doorman to do his doorman duties.
Gregor
don't wanna
Doorman.
We don't want to invite fights, though, so maybe we should go in, like, disguise.
Well,
I'm not
I-
disguising myself in the city that like is literally they don't belong here. That's like so demeaning to have to change my appearance for some outsiders.
It's true. We didn't invite a fight. We promised one.
They might
Okay, but-
also see us trying to be disguised as suspicious and not so much like that.
I have never been to La Cambria before. Is getting into the Undercity the same as getting into the regular city?
Yeah. Well, I mean, there are definitely ways around getting into the Undercity outside the city itself. I think the big issue is, I don't want to be. La Cambria isn't my home, but it's the closest city that I have that is near home. And just out of principle, at this point, we've been hiding so much. And quite frankly, we are saving the literal planes, not just our world, but every world. I don't want to have to hide to go bury our friend. Like, that's just, out of principle's sake, that's just, I hate it. So if they want to fight, let's fight.
No, you're right.
Like,
We do need to kind of confront them in a way, I guess, if they want to confront us.
What would we accomplish by confronting them?
I'm not saying that I want to confront them. I'm saying that I just want to walk with my dignity through the streets down into the Undercity.
I just want to point out real quick, Ermir would know ways to get to the Undercity stealthily if you wish to do so.
Well, let's ask him.
No,
The
no,
Undercity.
no, I'm saying you would have known the ways through
There's
that already. You would already know
remember
those.
There is a smuggler's tunnel in the mother's lair that we could sneak in. But I think Luton's right. I think when you come home the right way. You don't want to be back a smuggler. And if they're upset, that's on them. That's not our fault.
Of course, I won't invite the fight. But, and I won't be the first to shoot either. What's up, Samson?
No, I'm just gonna be the first to shoot.
Oh, okay.
Oh my god.
Oh my goodness.
Even
we
if
are looking for a fight, can we deal with the matter that we have to do before the matter that we want to do?
I don't want to fight these people.
yeah,
In all honesty, I don't want to fight them. But I'm gonna put it this way. If you guys want to sneak, I can show you other ways as well. I mean, I know the city. I policed it enough to know where enough stuff is. I can show you those ways, but I'm gonna go ahead and just walk down the entrance through the front gates. And if they have a problem with that, then they have a problem with that. But I don't care. Frankly, I'm not willing to bend the knee to these people. Because they're not my king.
you're the leader with this 7, Ludin, so we'll do what you do. And even if Digbrand doesn't like us very much, Ermir wouldn't want us to start fights in his home.
It's fair. But how about a compromise, Esperise? How about we enter the city at night instead of in the day?
Sounds fine to me.
Well, do we have anything else we want to do here? That requires all of us to be together at the very least.
I think
All
we've
right.
got a plan, so that's good.
All right. Well, then I guess I'll see you guys when nightfall hits. Then we can cross that giant bridge. Wait. Does crossing the bridge take like 3 days?
It's a long time, but we can like fly and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, is there a teleportation circle? I think when I first took I don't have teleportation circle anymore because Samson has this tree thing.
Yeah, I can tree us in. I can tree us into the wildwood, at the very least.
Yeah, that might be easier because I don't feel like walking 3 days.
We
Yeah,
don't
I
have.
think
We didn't got so lazy.
Real quick,
Yeah,
do
like,
we
we're gonna
want
walk more than 30 minutes? Are you sure? Let's take an Uber.
Like,
Look,
do we want to visit anyone while we're in Lacambria? Do we want to talk to anyone while we're there in order to set up anything? Because we do have contacts in Niveau Maximum.
I think
What,
that's
Lord?
It's Crick!
Yes, my
your
grandpa.
Your favorite throatless grandpa!
I love
looking for
him.
my charger, but Esperis is going to essentially subtle spell a message over to Finlay and be like, if I do have the opportunity to talk with Craig, I would be very open to this.
Like, Finn hears this and he, like, smiles but real big and he looks over at Esperis and he's like,
I guess
We
that
should go to
answers the
Novo
question
Maximum,
of
guys.
not having to speak to cast spell.
What are you talking about? I totally can't do that. Immediately does it.
we
You
should
know
definitely go to
nothing.
Nouveau Maximum because they might have some good information for us, right? Or some stuff they can give us.
If you want to go to Nouveau Maximum, let's go to Nouveau Maximum.
Yeah, and we have friends there, so it's really good.
I do think there's benefit to visiting Nouveau. Like, as if we can get there, we can probably get anywhere in the city safely. So at least we'll know what the environment is like. Because I'm concerned that it's not a happy one. Like, they did get taken over by hostile forces. They're currently occupied by, dwarven.
You think Crick's in trouble?
hostiles. Yes.
Oh no!
Yes, I do. I think I think he's more than in trouble. I think they already lost. Like, the Council of Lacambria sits in Nouveau Maximum. They got taken over by Digbrand.
Do you think they hurt him?
I think it's very possible they
Can't
hurt
you
him.
just talk to
We
him?
need to kick their ass.
That's what I said, man. And I was like, I'm gonna be a dragon and kill these people.
Yeah,
They
but I
took
didn't
my
know they
horn.
hurt Crick. That's
They took-
different.
Yeah, they hurt me.
I
Finn.
feel like they didn't just hurt Crick.
I know they hurt
They
you,
hurt a
but-
lot of other people.
I'll just drop the disguise self and just show the scarred up chest that I have.
I
and the
know
missing
what it
horn.
looks
They
like.
hurt-
But you
they
don't
hurt
have any
me, Finn.
horns! You don't have any horns anymore, just
Not
the
anymore.
scars.
But
Just
Crick
the
doesn't even have
scars.
boys. What could they
You
do to
chose to
him?
You're
keep
missing
the
an ear.
scars.
How about that? You're missing an ear.
As a reminder for the revenge I'm about to take.
I feel like whatever you would like to do, Finn, go for it. We got you behind. But let me put it this way: most everybody we know there is probably hurt or mauled and mangled in some way. So
Here's
Are
my
you
question.
trying to incite Finn to war?
I mean, that's Finn's decision.
I mean, Crick's like my grandpa.
I have one
Hey,
follow-up
can I-
He
question.
taught me so much about necromancy, and I love him.
He taught you
It's
two
for your
things.
soul.
What is
Little
going
son.
on
Yeah,
with
and
this
it's really
party?
important.
What happened when I wasn't there? Like necromancy, Grandpa?
Yes.
How
Look.
much family do you have?
I have a
On-
lot, Ludin.
Look, honestly,
Must be
I have
nice.
a quick question. Is this the trip that we saved Lacambria, or is this the trip that we saved Ludin's father? Which is it? Or is it both? I would love for it to be both. I could take some souls I have a big list. There's this guy. I don't know if I've told you all about this. I actually have a devil deal. I don't know what happened. I've forgotten about it. I don't know who it's for, but I've got to collect these souls. I don't know if y'all know about this. And this would be a good opportunity for me. But if this is not the trip that we're saving Lacambria, if we're only looking at Loden's dad, we can do that. But I'm just getting a sense of the vibes here.
Just to clarify saving Lacambria, Lauren, maybe I have a fundamental misunderstanding of something. Am I still online?
You're still.
We're all listening.
Okay, something went really weird for me. So we know that there was a power vacuum in Lacambria, and we know that the dwarves came. Do we know that they have maimed and mangled everyone within Lacambria?
You have no idea.
They are there. Okay.
As far as all you know is that they've occupied the city. And the city is under martial law.
Occupied the city.
They're not Daenerys Targaryen, the city, though.
Yeah,
You would have heard about that. You would have heard about that.
She's going to keep her opinions to herself. She's going to continue thinking Corvus did nothing wrong, and she's going to drink her morning mimosa.
I think the easiest way to save Lacambria, how about we do Dad first?
Always.
Then, if we see Caravis, I'll use every bit of arrow that I have in me to put him down. And we all get one shot, okay? And if we miss the one shot, we'll come back after we get Vera. And that will be our farewell mission as the Silent is murdering this dude that took the horn.
I think Lacambria needs to be a thing we do after.
Okay.
Save your arrows for saving your dad. I just hope Crick's okay.
I'll just use the magic ones, they're extra at that point,
We just need everything we can for the 7.
As long as Crick is obeying the law, he has nothing to fear.
What? Crick always obeys the law. He's a law-abiding citizen.
Evil the whole time.
Crick has never done anything wrong in his life.
I am saying that I am sure he is fine.
She sounds like I used to sound. Just saying.
No, that's crazy.
Yeah. Y'all remember
you two should spend less time together. That's what I think.
We have been. Anyway, are we ready to go through the tree?
I thought we were waiting till... Do you not want to wait till dark?
I don't know how far away the tree is from the front of Lacambria. I've never been here before.
It's like Eastern Central Time. It's like 1 hour difference. It's not.
Let me go return Snog back outside, and then we can go.
He's already left. He ran away.
Oh yeah, he did run away when he saw you. That's right.
Yep.
Do you want to see to him mentally? See how he is doing? He seems very scared.
Sure. I'll go check on him, and then we can leave.
Perfect. I'm gonna go through and just restock up on arrows. I regular arrows, nothing fancy.
Take whatever you need from the armory, Luden. Everything.
And he's just like, yeah. As he's putting more arrows into his pack, I was planning. Actually, who doesn't have a longbow? Does everybody have a longbow on the team yet? Sam, do you have a longbow? So we have one.
What's a longbow?
All right, so I'm gonna put another longbow just in case in my pack.
We don't know how to use one, Luden.
Is this
Finn
this
did
for
a great
soup?
job.
When you mix soup?
I got you. I will teach you later. But Finn did a great job with his.
Finn has training.
Prayari did a great job too.
Thank you.
See?
It's just it's a backup plan, Esperisa. It doesn't mean you'll have to use it. It's just a backup plan.
Perfect. And now everyone has one. And my super secret Luden squad is complete.
Oh, comfort Snog, who's traumatized at the sight of my face.
He's not traumatized. He was just startled. He was just surprised.
Then it's okay.
Is that
It's okay. You don't have
normal?
to.
Is that alright?
No, he was just surprised as Finn's walking out the door.
We're not asking questions about it? Okay.
We should definitely ask questions about it. Go. What was that, Pray?
No, I was just wondering if you were alright. I don't recall seeing anything like that happening to you before.
She read that evil book.
Ah. And it did all that.
I have talked to you some amount about it, Freyaria. Most everything is fine. How are your arms?
Wow!
Still a little stiff.
Samson, you sleeping well at night?
No, you know I'm not. I'm cursed. Everyone knows this. This is not good for me. It's a terrible, awful thing that's happened to me. I had immortality. It's been taken because of this. I'm very distraught and depressed.
I haven't been sleeping well either. Now we have it all out. I think Finn's the
Look at
only
us.
okay dude.
Finn is
Yeah.
not.
Nothing's ever happened to bad to Finn, ever.
Finn's all good. All right, cool.
Right, Finn?
He's with this pig.
No. Are you okay, baby boy? Baby boy? Totally not okay.
Just shaking.
The fat rolls.
Finn, you should show him the sky. Pigs can't look at the sky.
Here, Snog,
God, I saw that.
turn over with me. And then that's how Finn dies.
Before we leave Lacambria, I would like to discuss with Sylvia or whomever is in charge of the house finances to ensure that this vast amount of wealth that we've acquired from Lycindus's hoard, I would like to ensure that that's invested into some sort of annuity or, I don't know, other index fund perhaps. And I'd love to make some sort of roll to figure out what percentage rate we're going to get back on this return.
Just invest it in Dripto.
Dripto? Cool.
Is that I don't want to do that because
He said
We're
that
trying
the
to
market
pretend.
is too unstable.
yeah, we're way too. That's way too unstable for even Finn's money. Maybe there's some mines perhaps in the area that we can invest in.
Is
So
there
we
a
can
direct
get-
deposit we can?
Yeah, I'm just looking for something between 4 and 12% ROI.
12% ROI?
4 and 12. 4 and 12.
Jesus. If you could get 12 for nat 20, baby, like that is.
That's what I'm hoping for. What kind of roll do you want
Samson's
me to
my
make,
my
Alon?
businessman. He does all
We
I'm
have
hiring him after.
we have 12 to 15,000 tons of gold. So Lauren, what are you doing, Lauren?
She's trying. I think she's mathing.
What am I at? What is the question?
I think she was
I wanna-
answering a question in
I
chat.
was answering a question in chat.
I would love to know what kind of roll I can make to determine how well
like-
our investments are going to do.
Are you serious right now?
Mhm.
You don't want to know just like, am I Jeff Bezos rich or am I...
Yeah,
I think that's a
it.
good question.
Yeah, you got it.
You know, you really want to know?
Hey, I got an idea. I'll roll a d20. You tell me how good we do.
Okay. I mean, like, if we're gonna oh Jesus Christ.
It's a 12.
Better than average.
I mean, it hasn't even been a day, okay? And if we're doing like stock market numbers, it's gonna take some time for investments to go anywhere. Is that a good answer for you, sir?
Look,
It's fine. Samson
I was
can
really
come
looking for some. Yeah, I was really looking for something more numerical, but I understand if this is the route we're going down. So
Yes,
we'll
no,
say okay. We'll say we don't know.
This is
yet.
giving me
I think-
flashbacks to the campaign where you made us have do an accounting.
I did some accounting, and you guys were bad with money. That's what.
Anyways, are we ready to go?
Wait, I need a conversation with Snog.
You can't speak to him anymore, though, right?
Oh yeah, that's right. Okay, I'm just gonna talk to him. Hi, Snog. Okay, just make sure that you keep our end of the deal, okay? You're gonna work hard to work out and not eat everything in sight, and also train everybody in order to protect this area, okay? I knew you'd understand. You're so cute. You're the best. And I'm gonna scratch him behind his ears and his wrinkly, rolly head. I miss you so much. I wish you could go on every single adventure with us, but you can't because you can hardly walk. So just try to fix that by the time I get back, okay? Love you. And it's gonna kiss him on the head and then run back to the group.
And he may have understood that. You don't know.
In Finn's mind, he definitely understood.
He definitely understood. All right. Finn returns to the group. You guys are mid conversation, arguing about investing money.
No, I did all that without their input. I went to the treasury. They didn't. I'm sure this group did not want to count gold with me. So
Definitely not.
Esperise was in the treasury yesterday.
She was paying off debt.
Where you go. And making sure that people's salaries are being correctly tracked. She will let you go in on your own because she realizes that you are the master of finances, but she does keep an eye on the finances because she has the might at some point have to be responsible for these finances.
I will say, under Esperise's authority, when you return the money, she did take care of all of the underpaid employees, and the morale of Saltstone has improved, and people are This is now in the top 5 places to work now.
Glassdoor glowing reviews.
Glassdoor,
guys.
The boss is never there.
Yeah, we just need to get to number 1 now, guys. We can do it. We need more.
For 20 minutes, Samson is super concerned with the books. He's like, "What the fuck is happening? It's so we don't have nearly as much money as we did before." Oh wait.
Esperise is a good tipper.
Boy, we're a fair trade kingdom. Damn it.
How could this happen? Labor costs are up 15%.
Everyone gets benefits.
Blue Cross Blue shit now. For everyone? Even the part-timers? Okay.
Everyone gets sick, Samson. Everyone needs.
Oh my God, Samson.
They also demand dental.
When I invented Samson, I didn't think he'd be like super fiscally conservative, but here we are.
Definitely socially liberal, fiscally conservative. Samson is a libertarian.
Oh God, no!
All right, so you balanced your books. Money is taken care of.
All right, Ludin, you ready to go get back your dad?
Yeah.
Let's do this!
The joy.
What's
After the
wrong?
What?
What's wrong?
Oh. Nothing. Just thinking.
Do you want to share your thoughts with the
No.
class?
Don't
Are
worry
you
about it.
sure?
Yep, I'm so sure.
Okay.
Let's go.
All right, we got this. Let's go.
All right. How do you make your way to Lacambria?
I am going to, at the old tree, the one we always use, I will lead the crew to the wildwood, where we have been before. Probably, I'll choose a tree that I remember maybe 1,000 feet south of the Quail's Cup. Something that is, about a quarter mile or so down a path of the wildwood, so that we're not so close to it that we would be right on top of it, but so much so that we could approach it quietly if we could, because I'm not sure what the environment of the Quail's Cup will be like. So maybe 1,000 feet to the south, and then move forward. I hear. Okay, so global warming has hit Lacambria.
The water is so close in the wildwood.
It's so high right now.
All right.
All
Why
right.
does it look so grim?
When the seed is planted, it's a wonder how such a small thing could become a mighty oak. Though with time, the roots will grow deep into the ground. The weak sapling will strengthen and become an armored trunk. And the branches will stretch toward the sky. Until what was once a small, insignificant sapling is unrecognizable. Time is an enemy. Time is an ally. Time is change. Time is inescapable. You return to Lacambria once more. Like you, it has changed. You recall the first day you saw it, Finali, Samson, Praeria, and Luden, swathed in cascading freesia blooms. The sun shining down from a sky as clear blue as forget-me-nots. It was warm, with a gentle breeze sending the salt air from the surrounding oceans throughout the entirety of the city. The people bustled, exchanging coin for baked goods and souvenirs. A festival of celebration. But that all changed when a small group of adventurers were brought together by Revenir Thorn. The single match to ignite a series of events that have now shaped the world of Auroria. Lacambria is not as you remember it. Most of its inhabitants long fled from the reaping of the Mother. As you all gaze upon the city where it all started, you are reminded this isn't over yet. On this day, the skies are the deepest of gray as thunder booms from above. The oceans surrounding the massive isle of Lacambria churn and roil with an anger that desperately wishes to wash the island away. The jagged rock leading up to the mainland looks almost pitch black, and the white gulls that once perched on the cliffside, plummeting down into the waters to fish, have long since moved on. The city, once vibrant, is a darkened gray shell of what it once was. The buildings within loom out pitch black silhouettes illuminated by the lightning flashes from above. Very few lights remain. Most of the lights now are the torches of quick, makeshift wooden watchtowers that have been crafted around the perimeter of the city, as well as the entrance to Andrin's Bridge. There are a few candles that remain on the windowsills of Nouveau Maxim, and even fewer within the city. It almost feels that those that remain are now ghosts of a time before.
Welcome to Lacambria, Esperis.
Thank you.
It was a lot more colorful when we were last here.
Used
I
to be
heard that.
beautiful.
My siblings used to come here for commercial purposes. They said it was very lovely.
It's still lovely. It just needs to find its shine again. And it will, again, when we've taken care of business, right?
It's just quiet for now.
Yeah.
You ready to go in?
Yeah. Luden will just begin walking towards the entrance to the Undercity. I would say I don't want him to roll stealth, but he is making his way in a sense of trying not to interact with any guards. For the first time in forever, he'll put his mask on. That like covers up that side of his tattoo and everything. Put his hood up, and he'll just walk with like his head down, his arms against his side, and just start walking towards the Undercity. You're muted.
Thank you. Are you all attempting to enter the Undercity from the Wildwood, or entering through the city into the Undercity?
Well, I think it'd be a good idea to check out the Quill's Cut first.
Which is in the
Maybe-
Wildwood.
Yeah, maybe talk to some friendly people if they're here.
At a tavern?
Yeah, it's I thought. Oh yeah, we all went. No, it's just up the road. It's just up the road. We'll show you.
It's not the big cabbage man, is it?
No, this is Kaya's office.
Oh, she lives at the tavern?
Sometimes, when they're not, when they're in control of the camera, yeah.
Right.
Let's just go see what it's like there. Yeah.
Okay.
You make your way to the Quail's Cup, which is outside of the city, and you do notice the south side is the wall. From here, you can tell there are quite a few watchtowers, and you're guessing that's most likely because the dwarves do know that the Sparrowhawks reside outside in the Wildwoods. And as you approach the Quail's Cup, the rain just pelting the roof and the water slicking down the edges of this beautiful, or what felt to be beautiful when the sun would shine through those round window panes. The light seems smothered, but there is light coming from inside, and there doesn't seem to be a lot going on, but there is a light coming from inside. Here, let me help you out.
Thank you.
Alright, shall we take
Such a big door.
It wasn't before, but it is now.
It's rusty. It's all this rain.
You open the door, and you expect to see. You thought you'd see a lot of Sparrowhawks, but there aren't many here. There are some, but there aren't many here. You look up, and you'd see a tall individual, dark hair. He looks at you, Finali, Samson, and Prayaria, and he smirks. And he kind of like walks over to you. I haven't seen you in quite some time. It's good seeing you. Well, I mean, given the circumstances.
It's been a while, hasn't it?
It sure has.
Do we recognize this person?
This is Triv Beckstrump. He initially...
Yeah, I know who that is.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, I know who that is.
Remember the name Triv?
Triv is the one when you and Lorelai had cast spells and had ran off.
Yeah.
And you basically got citations to pay fines, otherwise you were gonna go to jail. This is Triv. He's the one.
Oh.
He's the Sparrowhawk that investigated you all.
You still have our records?
Oh, and not me particularly, but yes, everything is still on file.
You can add in there that we've done a lot more since then. We're like superheroes now.
I'm not sure. Those records aren't necessarily for good deeds But sorry, who are your friends? I haven't met you before, or you, milady.
Esprit Santia of the House of Orete. It is an honor to make your acquaintance.
Oh God, that's said so dead.
Oh, she hates you so much. Oh Lord.
So
Hey,
why
Triv.
so familiar with my pen?
Triv, where's everyone?
Well, Kaya is downstairs, but the majority of our forces, of course, aren't here anymore. The city being the way it is, we've moved headquarters down near Eldergard, and we're doing more good there than we were here, but we do have a bit of a skeleton crew left here.
Would you, or would it perhaps be best to ask Kaya about the situation in the city?
You're right, I think she does hate me, but yes, she can go downstairs, she's down there. Just joking with you.
Fine. Yes, sure, I hate you. And I don't know.
Yes, Kaya's downstairs. She's, we've been moving things, a little bit at a time from this headquarters down to Eldergard now, and, getting the last of the scrolls of down in the room, the war room.
Yeah.
We'll walk past and just go straight down.
Yeah, he'll walk over and he will pull like what looks to be like a wooden sparrowhawk that's kind of up on the side of the bar. He will kind of like pull it down and the floor will just kind of and will reveal stairs down into the basement war room.
Thank you, Triv.
It was good seeing you again. Wish it was better circumstances, but
I hope you're doing well.
Yeah. Carver and Trollis are still here too, But other than that,
Finn will hug him and then head on
he
down.
just kind of he does that kind of like penciling up as you kind of like, oh, you're right. It's yes, good to see you too. He pats you on the back.
He'll follow Ludin down.
And you guys make your way down into the war room. Most of the scrolls that were down here have been moved. The shelves have been kind of cleared, and you do see Kaya. She has kind of a bit of a very large leather backpack that she's filling up with scrolls and war plans. And she looks over and sees you all.
Place his Sparrowhawk book that told them like the locations of all the Sparrowhawk hideouts and all that stuff. He'll just place that on her table and push it over to her.
Giving it up, Ludin.
Yeah. Don't really need it anymore.
She looks disappointed. She goes, "You're not the only one, given the circumstances, but I wasn't expecting you all. Is everything all right?"
As all right as it could be. We're just here to, do what we've been doing. Finishing the 7. Maybe scouting out another mission. Look around. And saying goodbye to an old friend.
Yes, he is down there.
So, were you here when it happened?
I knew that he would go down there at some point. I didn't know when. But he did tell me that when he'd stopped responding, that is where I'd find him.
we'll see it sooner or later. Do you have anything you can tell us about the city as we make our way down there?
As you know, the city has been overrun with the army from Digbrand, a good portion of the army. My sources say that about 2/3 of that army has taken place in the city. It is under martial law. Citizens are not to leave their houses during the evening. There is a curfew in place. And they have been keeping a very irritating eye on the Sparrowhawks.
Do you have any concept as to why? Do they believe that the populace are going to rise up against the new dwarvish institution? Are the dwarves... I'm saying, why would they install... What is the purpose of what they are doing? I can see Samson is looking very upset, but I'm trying to understand what the dwarves are doing.
Well, dwarves are all about strength and might. What is their... strength and honor? What is... regardless, whatever their ridiculous motto is.
Glory to the strong.
Glory to the strong, thank you. Regardless of their silly motto, they believe taking control of the city in this way, they are to establish a new government order, and they cannot do so without a strict thumb over the populace, or what's left of it, really. Now, up in Nouveau Maxim, they're beginning to establish a new... Well, they're not really calling it a council, but they are establishing some sort of new political order.
Has Digbrand tried to take Lacambria before?
And you mean, has it in the past, or...?
Right, in the past.
Historically, I believe that when the city was first founded, you know, it, of course, was founded based on the council, the different districts and the different people within the populace, but Digbrand did have, of course, an interest in the city. But, of course, they were outnumbered at the time and weren't able to do so. So there was interest, but nothing major of any wars or outbreaks.
It just seems strange, because they live underground, and Lacambria is not underground.
Ah, I see what you mean. Well, the Undercity, there are actually mines that do run deep beneath the city, and there are gemstones, so it could possibly be that they are interested in the resources below the city.
Are there
they
dwarves
below the city?
Yeah.
Currently, no.
Okay.
In fact, a majority of the populace have taken refuge beneath the city.
Oh.
Granted, there's not much populace left, but very few have taken refuge below.
We may have to send them back up.
They, of course, prefer it, as the majority of the Dwarven guards patrol the city above, enforcing law and the curfew. But those that are beneath the city, there's a little bit more freedom, as it is... Well, the dwarves are quite superstitious, and they, after what happened beneath the city, of course, it's one of the reasons why they avoid below. For the moment, at least.
We know how to get rid of any dwarves that are in our way. But I don't... have things been made clear to you, Kaya, about what our purpose is here now?
Would you have informed her that you were coming to slay the
No.
seven? Yeah, I don't think it's been made. You haven't told her you were coming.
No.
She knows that this seven was summoned in a great place of sorrow at Shepherd's Pass, but she doesn't know that you're coming to do the same thing here.
Well then, suffice it to say, we will be undertaking a dangerous mission, and we do not want to do this while there are civilians present. Would we be able to, depending on what the rest of my party wants to do, say, I don't know, safer spot for them to go for a period of time? Or just say, everybody just move next to the walls for the next hour and a half. I have no idea what the Undercity is like.
When
I think-
go ahead.
I think it would be best if they leave the area completely.
Would we be able to send them to the Wildwood? Would you all be able to look after a large crowd of people just for the period of time that it takes us?
The Undercity's a large place. I think
Well, I think that if we wait for it to be nighttime, when everyone's supposed to be at home because of the curfew, it's very unlikely that we'll have collateral damage. I suppose it could happen, but
I think,
seems
yeah,
unlikely.
the
But think
Undercity's an entire city, like in and of itself. If we do wall up even an entire area, just make sure everyone's on the other side, we should be fine.
I just
it's a
feel like
city.
if they can leave the area, they should. If anything, it might try to prey on them or their shadows.
I mean, sure, we can talk to them. I just, what are we gonna do if they say no? And I get we can get to that when we get to that, but I'm just saying, like, I do think that going to a different part of the city or somewhere that is more abandoned. You all weren't really here much after everything happened, but, you know, I'm sure you all saw the aftermath. It's not like there's much down there. It's mostly just empty space now. At least that's what it was when I left.
We'll see. We will go take a look and see what can be done. Okay. Right.
Kaya, do you have any paint?
She kind of knits her brows. I'm sure I could find some. It would be green.
Sure.
Yes, I'll have Triv get you some.
Thank you.
Do you know where Uri's dad is?
Last I heard, he was on that island with the twins, I believe.
So he's not here. Okay,
No, he's not here.
good.
Well, I will let you guys have, if you have any more questions. I'm gonna go ahead and head upstairs, maybe grab a drink, grab that paint, and then whenever you all are ready, Ludin will give a nod to Kaya. Oh, he'll also give, like, the little badge over to her.
She
thing.
she takes it and she places it in her bag.
Yeah. And he'll be like, oh, I guess we were just talking about all that stuff and we didn't tell Kaya again that we're summoning the Seven in the Undercity. Yeah, I guess we just kind of didn't, we alluded to it but didn't say it.
We can do
Yeah,
that.
if Maurice was not gonna say it, if Luden wasn't gonna say it.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, Luden should probably say
Ludin
it.
just says, oh, the reason we were asking, I think there's going to be another event we're going to summon the seven in the Undercity. And we're going to take it out there.
Place of great
Those are-
sorrow.
What's greater than losing an entire populace?
That would certainly bring it coming. It would come running for sure. I'm glad you told me. Is there anything I can do to help? My resources, of course, are rather limited in the moment, but I can spare some.
I
need
think
help.
the best thing that you can do is just spread the word that something is coming that just like the last time in the Undercity.
Well, I do not want to cause panic, but I could send some sparrowhawks to make sure that the people maybe stay on a certain side of the city, depending on where you... those that are down there, if you don't plan to move them.
That might be the wisest course.
Not sure we should inform them that the same thing is going to happen as before.
Well,
Maybe not.
okay. But yeah,
But I can
that's-
spare some.
that's what we
Triv, I'm sure he would be happy, and Carver and Trollis. You've worked with them before, from what I hear, and I can help.
Okay. And Ludin will head back up. He looks kind of out of it ever since they walked in. Just, I guess, actually, ever since Finn asked him what's wrong. He's definitely just been out of it. So he'll go up and still contemplating different things in his mind.
You go up. You do get your. It's a small, like, kind of like chalk bucket of paint.
That's all I need.
Do the rest of you go up?
Sure.
Esperis has some quick questions for Kaya that we don't need to roll pay through, but
You're gonna. It's just like, oh god, you want to ask her when everyone's gone.
I don't. Esperis does not care if it's in front of other people.
Okay.
Or not.
Okay.
But she and I have very little understanding of the politics of Cambria, the surrounding areas. So essentially, Esperis is going to be checking in. So the Sparrowhawks have been kicked out of Cambria because the dwarves believe that the Sparrowhawks are going to undermine their authority somehow. Is that what's happening?
So keep in mind the Sparrowhawks are kind of like the undercover cops, like James Bond, So
But they don't. Government.
They have attempted to sever them as much as possible from the Cambria because they know that their entire purpose is like intel, and so they don't want them to know what they're doing. And then the Sons of Bouclier, they took those out. There weren't enough of them left after the mother
Esperis is
to
getting more
properly defend the city.
sour throughout this conversation. She doesn't really give a shit who is running La Cambria. Somebody needs to run La Cambria, but these people are clearly doing it in the stupidest way possible. So she is getting very irritated. But that's not what we are working on right now. So sorry to waste your time with any questions, but thank you so much. Thank you.
Of course.
She will head upstairs. That's all she needed to know right from the horse's mouth. The dwarves are being extremely annoying. Okay.
The rest of you, do you go up as well?
Yeah, I guess so. Is it
Um,
nighttime yet?
Oh yeah, it's gotten rather dark. As Samson, Praeria, and Finali, as you all exit and you begin making your way up the stairs to the second floor, you see two individuals sitting. They're just kind of like talking, swinging their legs. One of them is a beautiful female swinging her legs, and the other one is a very large, tall, burly man. And the female catches your eyes first, and she goes, my! Oh! Where's Snog? And you, Samson, and
We can hardly
now.
hear you, Lauren.
It's ringing in and out.
I know my voice is so high. And you, Samson, and Priya, it's been so long.
Lorelai, is that you?
No, it's
Okay. I thought it was Lorelai for a minute.
no. You see before you Mossy and Tawny. Last you saw them,
Mossy and
you were
Tawny.
doing the pig call. And
Oh, our friends.
Mossy, of course, is the very big, like he sang in like Italian during the pig call, and Tawny is the beautiful blonde-haired woman that is absolutely in love with him. They're two very polar opposites in appearance, but they love each other dearly.
Mossy, Tawny, how are you doing?
Oh, well, you know, things could be better. Mossy he's gone really quiet after everything has happened, and he doesn't like to speak quite as much. Not that he spoke quite as much, but everything's it could be better.
Mossy, what's wrong? Are you just shy and kind of reserved lately, or?
He just kind of like he's looking down, and he kind of whispers to himself like, "Everyone leaves."
Sure,
That's all he says. That's all he says.
That's true, but that doesn't mean they won't come back.
He doesn't say anything. He's just quietly like rolling his thumbs like this.
Oh, hey, Reese, this is Mossy and this is Tawny. They participated in the pig calling with us during the Frisia, what is it called? The festival. The Frisia Festival.
Frisia's Advent.
Frisia's Advent Festival.
We will be happy to know then that Snork is still doing very well.
Oh, that's wonderful. Haven't seen him in quite some time. I'm sure he's grown rather big.
He's huge now. And he's got a lot of babies and several wives, and he's really happy.
Oh my.
Have you two, you know,
Adrian,
yeah,
are you with the family?
Oh, no, we're happy just the way that we are.
that's great. You're beautiful and perfect just the way you are. We gotta go up soon, but it was nice seeing you.
Of course it was nice seeing you too. We feel very safe here, so we've just decided to stay. We're going to go with the Sparrowhawks to Eldergard.
That's good. Stay close to them so that you stay safe. We would hate to hear if anything happened to you.
Yes, of course.
And
Well,
Moss, oh, go
Go
ahead.
ahead. No, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I forgot what I was going to say, so.
Okay. Finn's gonna approach. I think Finn's gonna approach Mossy, and he's gonna kind of take his hands, just like he did during the pig calling, and call and give a little bit of guidance to him, that little bit of magic, and he's just gonna say, Mossy, I know things look really bleak right now, but in times of darkness and hopelessness, I think that's the time people need to hear your voice the most. And I know it's hard, but I'm sure that there are those out there that could really, really hear it right now.
He stops twiddling his thumbs for a moment, and he looks up at you. And there's just like like the corners of his mouth just kind of curl ever so slightly, and he just nods and he looks back down.
It was nice seeing you both.
Tawny smiles at you very widely, clearly the more positive between the two. Glass half full, glass half empty. And you make your way up to the next floor. With Ludin, and all of you are gathered up in that room. And I think that is where we'll take our break.
Yeah.
You good with that? All right. I was like, are we good with that? Are we good with that?
I was giving a vote or not.
I'm eating my garlic bread.
I know. I've been wondering what that has been this entire. It's huge. All right, and that is where we're going to take our break. When we get back, we're going back to the Undercity. All right, so stick with us. We will see you all in a little bit.
Lamentium, Floortide. These Zodiac-inspired powers and more await you in Stargazer's Guide to Aurora. Available on DriveThru RPG. Destiny is calling, adventurer. Look unto the heavens. Your story is in the stars.
Well, hello there. Of course you came to the grand dwarven city of Digbrand to see me. Ma Belle Pebblegrit, tale extraordinaire to kings, queens, heroes, and legends. Have you gazed upon my latest masterpieces? Yes, this one for you. Don't you see how it calls to you, speaks your name? You are gorgeous, darling. The colors, the line work, the gods weep in the presence of your beauty. No one has looked more stunning in a pebble grit design. Please, I cannot bear to gaze upon your perfection for too long. You can find this mesmerizing merch at inkinliar.com. Go and unleash your fabulosity today and help support Ink and Liar. Do stop by my shop again. You simply must tell me about all that adventuring thing. Well, ta-ta, darling.
New
And
year.
we are back. So, you all go upstairs. You're all together. Taking a long rest.
No. Mm-mm.
What we
We
doing?
haven't-
We're gonna go down to the Undercity
Yeah,
and
we haven't.
prep some spells, and then take a long rest after we
Yeah,
have
we're
our
taking a
funeral.
long rest after we build some bombs.
But we have to
Uh-huh.
have a funeral first, right?
Yeah. I guess.
But we can build the
No,
glyphs.
The funeral is part of the ceremony to get the dude, isn't it?
True,
we can't
true,
have
true,
the ceremony.
true. So we have to do the glyphs first.
Yeah, we're building glyphs. We're saying, hey, you want to move again to a bunch of people, and we're finding where we want to have this thing go down. I did ask in our private group chat if folks had ideas for the third glyph, and it sounds like people are cool with what I'm doing. Unless somebody has a brilliant idea for our third glyph, I'm probably
I do think that's a good. I think we should definitely look at our spells and make sure we prepare it before next week. But
do concentration spells work in a glyph? Do you have to maintain concentration?
I don't know. Let me check. I know I did some fucky shit in in Iron Valor, but it was in Iron Valor, so let me see.
Because that will also affect whatever you guys can use.
Yeah, I can't do glyph of warding. Like I don't have access to it.
Finalized Thorn does.
Davis says no. Glyphs do not.
So you can't have concentration.
No,
spells.
you can cast it. They just last for the duration, if I understand.
Yeah.
Oh! If that's the case, I know what our third spell is. Holy Weapon. Duh.
Okay, we can talk about that.
Put them in the ground for real.
Yeah, you guys can talk about that after.
Yeah, because that might take a few. That might take a while to go through everybody's spells, especially mine.
All right. Well, if you'd like to lead us, there is an entrance on this side into the Undercity is the idea, right? Through the Wildwood.
Yeah. We can go that way.
Lead the way.
I'll just lead away.
All right, you make your way back out into the rain, and as you begin walking towards this entrance down into the side of the cliff side down into the Undercity, the ground begins to shake again.
Is this what y'all meant last time?
Yeah, this is it.
This is an
Oh.
earthquake, Samson. Yeah.
How did I sleep through this? This is like
I
nice.
don't know, man.
My goodness.
And you see the ocean just roiling as the water and the entire earth begins to just quake until it fades away once again.
Like, this seismic activity is going to cause issues in the Undercity, like, just in terms of our, like, OSHA-wise, like, physical safety. Okay.
Be fine.
Just a thing. Okay, I'll just be keeping that in mind.
I mean,
But
she should be far enough away, right?
I mean, even if it does happen, like, we're fine. There's been fire that has exploded at our feet before. We'll adjust.
Should we set like a word of recall at least somewhere else so that way we can transport away from under the city if we need to?
Maybe, do we want to set it here in the quail cup?
Yeah, that might be a good idea.
In all honesty, I just don't see that happening. Because if we leave those people down there, homie will have a feast on shadows. I don't think that there's much running away from this one as much as the other ones, unless we get those people far away.
I think,
this
yeah.
comes down on top of us.
Yeah, I think it's like if
actually,
we defeat him and the power then goes to Vera, then it's gonna be a lot.
Okay. I think it's the same thing with... I was saying, then do we want to get the people all the way out then? Because the caveman, if the city falls down on top of us, then Lacambria is completely destroyed.
Look, I really think if it's possible, we should get those people out.
All right,
They should not be under there when we're doing the battle. They should not be under there for the aftermath because we don't know what's going to happen. But I also think we should set up a word of recall so that way we don't know what's going to happen. At least we have a backup plan, you know?
Rule number
How
one.
do we get all of the people out? And do we evacuate the upper city as well? Will we have to go to the dwarves and tell them that we are doing something that could potentially destroy everything?
I'm not talking to the dwarves about anything.
We can't know, I don't think, what's going to happen, but we can assume with the 7 gone, it might affect the area under there, right? So all we can do, I think, is let them know. And they need to leave. And if they don't, we can't force them. It's kind of like the city that we just left.
Yeah, the issue is if this is all conjecture at this point. I have no way of knowing if the top city is going to fall onto the lower city, but we can assume that the under city is going to be a dangerous place to be. I think Prearia is asking if we also need to warn the over city, and if so, how we could do that without having to go into diplomatic talks with shitheads 1, 2, 5, and 7.
Well, we let Kaya know. If we let the dwarves know, they might stop us from trying to do what we're trying to do. If we say, your city might just blow up on itself, they might say, well, you're not going to do it then.
Okay, how about let's go to the Undercity first. Let's see if these tremors have been affecting the Undercity at all. If it has, I would assume there's rocks and stuff on and damaged buildings. If not, just play it by ear. Let's tell the people, see how they react.
So do you think I should set up a word of recall real quick, though, just for us at least?
Sure, I mean, I think we're gonna have I think we're going to sleep first anyway, so sure, if you want to do that right before we
I would definitely
bed.
do so.
Yeah.
Because if we always live to fight another day, definitely so.
Okay.
So, go for it.
Then I'll find a bed, I'll crawl under it, and I'll draw my thing real quick.
It right
It's gotta
here.
be. It's gotta be a holy place, Ludin.
Oh my god.
This isn't holy. This is nothing.
So
It's
you
just
Gotta be
fair.
holy.
you crawl
It's just-
underneath the bed.
I'll be right back.
There's just a pair of trousers sticking out from under the bed, feet kicking up as Finn does spell work.
He draws his circle, which looks like a smiley face.
I don't trust his magic. Like it's
It's so precise.
It would be
it's
even
dangerous.
it would
It's
be-
very dangerous.
it would be even funnier if like the smiley face laughed a little bit like
It's got that little smirk that Levi always has. And he draws his hair. And his little half elf ears.
I just be worried I mess up a line somewhere.
I'm not
Honestly.
recalling.
I feel it in my heart. I know what he looks like.
I'm not recalling. It's more dangerous than that.
And Finn, you have
Take my
created word
chances.
of recall in the Quail's Cup.
Okay, guys, I got it. It's ready to go. It's perfect.
I'm gonna pull out. I guess Gardo kind of stayed behind. We bought this super expensive thing, and we're never gonna use it. All right.
Do we leave Gardo at Saltstone, or?
I would assume he's guarding the Bardo, right?
Maybe he should come with us. What do you think?
Who?
What if he
Bardo.
came with us and like
Gardo.
Gardo?
Gardo. And there's also
Gardo's the
Spike,
Bardo.
I think, is also with us. Is that his name?
Which one's
Yes.
I have a
Spike?
tiny mechanical spider.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's the tiny mechanical spider.
No, Gardo guards the Bardo. Are we taking the Bardo with us?
I told you, like, right? Like, it's,
I don't know. Well, I mean, I guess not.
Well,
I mean,
like by definition.
Finalay is definitely kicking his little foot in the dirt when Yes.
It's
Okay.
just like, couldn't we use some extra reinforcement?
We're doing all
I'm-
this, Lauren, as we walk downstairs, by the way. Like this.
Okay, yeah. Okay, good
we
to
went
know.
straight back to Saltstone from Lycinda's. Gardo's walking back. He's somewhere between here and there.
I mean,
Right
who's gonna
now.
try and steal the Vardo?
What?
No one with Gardo.
Oh my
no,
goodness.
not with Gardo there, exactly.
The Undercity looks so different now.
Luden's like, by the way.
Or can we just walk there? Is it open streets?
You make your way down into the Undercity. Not much has changed since you last walked the caverns of the Undercity. The deafening and abrupt quiet a reminder of all the souls lost that day. The home's quiet, with the occasional exhale of wind from the storm raging on outside surrounding the aisle. Almost as if to sigh with the burden of all that has happened here. It seems a small collection of individuals have taken refuge here from the dwarves above. It's quiet, save for the sound of drips and the thunder crackling from outside. You catch the occasional glance of eyes peeking out from tattered windows, only to gasp as you notice their gaze and retreat into their dimly lit homes. Like ancient ruins, you look upon the silhouette of houses and tattered cloth hanging limply in the windows, some embroidered with stars, a reminder of the mark Uramir's mother left upon the Undercity, even after the Mother of Hungering. You continue walking down these passageways between homes, some empty, some with individuals inside, until you all approach the massive mural that nearly covers the entire wall and ceiling. Some paint more faded than others, but most paint is new and fresh. Some portraits you remember helping Uramir create. And at the base, where the portrait of Uramir's mother resides, you see what appears to be a metal statue of sorts. It's red and black, with a faceplate that looks like a modified welder's mask and goggles. Figure is sitting, stoically, in front of the memorial mural. Candles surrounding his feet, flickering. He sits as if lost in thought, holding a wrench in his right hand. You can still see the mechanical gears and pistons that make up his left hand and arm, with names carved all over the statue. And sitting at his feet, made of rusted metal silverware and various scrap parts, worn and silent, is a familiar bat-like construct, sitting next to a plaque, loyally waiting for its master to command it once more. And on the plaque, you see Uramir's last words. Like the phases of the moon, even when you can't see me, know that I am there.
I think Finn's gonna walk forward and kneel down beside Umber and just like start to pet the little construct and be like, "Hey, Umber."
You pet the construct, and there's just a very, very dim whirring, and it kind of shakes a little bit as it just kind of like turns its head to look at you.
He'll just sit down and take it in his lap and just start petting it, basically.
And you just hear like the whirring and buzzing of gears, almost screeching as the rust attempts to kind of move, like the gears attempt to push through the rust.
Can I take out my jug and summon some oil and try to pour some oil into him?
Yeah. Sure.
Finn's not very good at this, so he'll take out his jug and just, take out maybe some like olive oil, I guess. That would be the first thing that comes in mind, and he's just gonna start pouring it into the cracks of Umber where he hears the creaking and the struggling of the gears.
You pour the oil into the various shafts and cracks around where the joints of this bat have been put together. Its wings, kind of like creaking and twitching as it attempts to move. The power. You put this oil in, and it is able to move its neck a little bit better. The squeaking and the kind of scratching of the rust and the metal grinding against each other easing up. But you notice the power of whatever powers this creature is going out.
I'm sorry, Uri's not here anymore. He's the only one who knew how you worked. Finn's gonna look over to the others and motion them over.
The light bulb above his head just very, very dimly begins to brighten and then immediately goes back out.
Ludin, did Uri ever tell you how he made Umber work?
There's some more magical BS that I don't get, but yeah. Look, are we doing this? Are we gonna do this now?
We have to draw the glyphs, I guess.
Yeah, let's. Yeah, and Luna will just walk and try and find some other people. He's not doing this right now. He's not doing this right now.
So Finn will get up, still clutching Umber, and start following Ludin. Be like, I'll start working on the glyphs. We gotta figure out where we want to summon him, right?
Yeah. I think here is as good as any, right?
It is.
Yeah. Prey will come over, and even though she's never liked Umber, she will offer to take the little abomination into her arms so that Finn can do the glyphs.
He'll hand him over.
You hand Umber over to Prearia, and Mountain pokes his little head out of your pocket, Prey, and he kind of skips running down your arm, and he goes up to Umber's face and begins to screw in its nose a little bit further in. The loose bolt begins to screw it in, and he pops off one of his mushrooms, of his only two, and he sticks one on top of his head, and then just pats him.
He's fixed now.
He's fixed now.
Good job, little one.
All right. Reese, you want to start getting these glyphs ready to go?
Yes. Yeah. And she'll sit down cross-legged and concentrate on it. How are we just taking a rock and putting it in it? How are you casting Glyph of Warding and putting that magic into it?
I think Finn is going to start taking pieces of chalk that he has and start drawing it in his fashion, which is basically like large circles. And he'll place, I think, a candle in each smaller circle where the spells are meant to be. And I think that's where they'll store the magic that is meant to be waiting. Because once the magic is triggered, the candle will burn all the way down and ignite the spell itself.
Yeah, Esperise will put at least one big old just sit down in the middle of those piles as you're kind of drawing around her and put her magic there into the glyph. And she spends some time squinting at Umber, but does not. This is a don't touch area other than the magic she's feeding into the glyph.
Yeah. Vince drawing the circle. He's doing the symbols, but I think as he's drawing them, he's definitely like tears are coming down and like splattering the chalk, and he has to like scribble it back on, and he's doing his best to kind of make sure it looks presentable.
From where we are, there are people down here, right? But we don't see anyone.
Yeah, there's no one in the streets. Every now and then you'll look up there seem to be a lot of people that are around this memorial. Most of the houses around here seem to be filled, and there are people kind of like peeking out, watching to see what you're doing.
I'm gonna kind of nod to Luden and Samson as we're working on the glyphs if they wanted to go.
Are there any guards down here?
Mm-mm.
About to not be. I'm gonna go around and start telling people to vacate, that it's not safe for them, and the best option is go to the Wildwood for a camping retreat for the weekend. And by the weekend, I mean tonight.
Okay. So, initially they think that you are with the dwarves.
I'm only like 5'9".
You have a lot of weapons. You have a lot of magic items on you. You are. I mean, you're level 18. You look terrified. You are not somebody that these kind of people want to mess with. And you get the sense with those of you with the highest passive insight, which would be Prayari and Finali, that these people think they're in trouble because they're down here and they're not up there.
I'm gonna play into that.
Of course you would. Yeah, of course you would.
I'm going to scare traumatized people yet again.
Make an intimidation check then for me, Samson.
I'm great at these. Plus 0.
Can you use your like what is it,
Faithing or whatever?
thaumaturgy? Your thaumaturgy.
I can't do that anymore.
Faith present.
No, I can't do that anymore. Lauren took it from me because she's mean.
What?
I tried to keep it and she said no. 12.
I remember no such thing. It was a low DC. They are your level, like I said, you're level 18, and the DC was 10, so it's pretty low. I mean, given the circumstances. Seeing as you, I'm guessing, what do you say? See, as you're playing into, you work for the dwarves above.
No, I'm playing into I'm scared. I'm a scary person, and that you need to leave for your own safety.
All right, you begin.
So, all I let them know is like, hey, there's some bad stuff about to go down, and I focus on the people within 500 feet, and expand as far as I can. But I let them know that it's about to go down and you need to leave, and that you should go to the Wildwood.
Ludin does a totally different strategy. 100% just looks very somber, but turns it off for a bit. Just tries to stifle all of his emotions and just walks over to the people and just goes, "Listen, there's going to be some horrible things that happen down here. But after this is done, and after one more thing is done, we're here to liberate you. Here to liberate this city. I also lived here once, and I understand the calamity that happened to all of us. So, leave here for tonight, for tomorrow, and you'll be better for it. If you stay, we cannot guarantee your safety, and that's the truth of the matter. But know that you will be able to return rather soon, because when we come back, the city is no longer going to be theirs, and will be yours once again."
I don't even think you need to roll a persuasion check for that. That was so well done.
Thank you.
Yeah, so Samson has his way, and Ludin, you have yours, as you both go door to door and the surrounding areas, while the rest of the group draw glyphs, and you are able to successfully clear this surrounding area of citizens.
Okay. I'll come back. I assume all the warding is done. And I'll
Rest of
throw
you?
in a silence spell into one of these things. Spam. And my part is done.
Are we going to be spending the night in one of the homes?
Did any of the people that I spoke to vacate?
We could check on Uri's house if we wanted to. See if anyone's staying in there.
We could do that. I also found there was this couple, they had an okay looking house. They left. If we wanted to stay there, that'd be fine too. But Ari's house might be nice. I don't know. It might be too many memories though.
I think I'd like to tidy it up a little, you know?
Mhm.
I'll just sleep out here.
Don't think he'd want us to tidy it up. At least he didn't like it when I did it.
Everything was already in its place, right?
I think I am going to... I'm going to take a little walk, and then I think I'm going to sleep out here as well.
I think I know a good place to walk if you want.
Binlai?
Yeah,
Would you like to come?
sure. Yeah. Yeah.
While everyone else leaves, Ludin will take out the paint and go to like the wall nearest to Urmir.
Where we're gonna walk.
Just nearest Urmir, like even if it's like on a house. And he's gonna start painting with his fingers. Just a grassy island. Everything's in green. And Ludin's not the best artist, but he'll do like finger painting, some trees, and off to the side there will be a like castle-like structure, paint out towards like an ocean, and then just prick his finger a little bit so the color can change. And to the best of his ability, he'll just draw two small figures sitting off to the side, off the shore, with a boat in the background. And he'll just be remembering as much as he can about that last conversation that he and Uri had about what he would want to know, and basically when he made that decision of when he was leaving or not leaving. And that's what he'll probably spend the rest of the night doing until they all go to sleep.
Is Simpson coming on the walk, or is it just us three?
No, I think you'll got it. It's fine.
Well, Espris will take Finali's hand and follow wherever Prayaria is leading.
I think with Umber still, she'll take them down the along the wall where loved ones' faces are painted. She wants to see how far Uramir got.
Okay. You continue walking down to see how far this mural goes. And you remember roughly where you all stopped. There were so many people. It would have been impossible in one day, of course, let alone a month to paint all of these people's faces who died that day. But the wall continues on. And as you're walking, seeing all this new paint of all these new people and all these faces, at the very end, you see painted crudely in exquisite craftsmanship in so many different styles, Ermir's face, over and over and over again. And from what you can gather, his face was painted by so many different people. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say his face is the only face that's painted more than once.
I was gonna ask, is there space for us to add our versions?
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys want to draw?
Sure.
Okay. I'm not a very good drawer, but I think that we should. Does anyone have any paint? You have the jug.
You have the jug.
Oh no.
Red paint.
Red.
Yeah.
Red paint.
Blood.
Well, he was red.
Oh, yeah.
And Finn will sit down and just start focusing on his drawing.
And as you begin to draw and you look closer at the other portraits, and you get closer to it, you notice a couple specific things. You notice that some of these portraits are not necessarily just of Uramir's face. You look over and you see some are of Uramir fixing someone's roof. You look over at another, and it is a little girl's birthday. It's very crude. It's very, very crude, as if done by a child. But it looks to be that Uramir has given this little girl a gift. A little cat made out of teacups. And throughout this end of the mural that is dedicated to Uramir, you see from all of these people how he has touched so many individuals' lives when his was ending.
I think Finn's version of Uramir is gonna be him holding Uramir in one arm and holding his plate in the other hand. And Finn's gonna do his best because he's not a great drawer. He's gonna try to draw all of his little tools around him. He's going to draw a birthday shark. So like a little shark with like a hat, because Uramir insisted upon having a birthday shark. That was like a big thing for him. And then at the very end, he's going to draw a full moon above his head.
Prayaria or Esperis? Yeah.
Right next.
I think she would try her best to draw him as she first met him, with all of his mismatched clothes and still a little glint in his eye. And she'll draw a little Umber, and she won't look Umber in the eye while she does this because, you know, he's not doing great, but
He's watching you the whole time.
she'll draw that, and then she'll just kind of put a little circle of fingerprint dots around him in the shape of like a little heart. One dot for all of them, and Ramirez and his dad. And that'll be hers.
Estrees is a truly impressively bad artist, and her portrait today does not improve upon her skills because she spends the vast majority of the time sitting there drawing. Actually, like, she's got very high charisma, so I think she masks it pretty well, but of watching to see how Prayaria and Finalai are doing. Whether is this something that's making them feel better? Is this making it worse? How they're doing. So by the end, her final little portrait is essentially the shoulder and the rolled up sleeves of a jacket and a red hand coming up to touch a real shitty little bat kind of drawing, like a not great representation of Umber, and like half of a kind of smiling stick figure kind of face looking down at the bat. And she doesn't get super far into it, but she is seeing not just what you guys are drawing, but how are you?
Finn's looking at his drawing for a long time. And he kind of he goes, oh! And he dips his finger in and he makes little cloud-looking things around Uri's arms. And he grins at both of them and he's like, I can't forget the floaties. Those were really important.
At that point, Prey will start laughing, like, way louder than probably should be, like in that way where everything was just so quiet and somber, and then like something funny happens, and if she cries a little, it's probably because of the laughter.
Esperise is going to make do on the only reason that she went on this walk in the first place. She's going to make sure to give both Prearia and Finoline, possibly at the same time, a good hug. And let them feel whatever they feel for as long as they need to before they go to bed.
It's impossible not to miss him, but I think the plaque is true. He's never going to leave us either.
He lived an excellent life. And he left behind the possibility for even better ones.
And the best we can do is protect that.
And try to avoid blowing up any of the murals tomorrow. We'll make that like parameter C or D.
Yeah.
If only we had some sort of device that could instantly draw a picture. Could...
We'll see. Maybe one of his apprentices has worked it out.
Should we go back to the others?
And unless there's more conversation that the other two want to have, we'll essentially get them shepherded and tucked in and make sure that Prearia's alcohol is not directly in her hand when she's in bed, but everybody tucked away before she goes to sleep herself.
Ben is going to kind of settle by an area kind of close to where Ludin is painting, just not like right by him, but in case he needs anything. Ben's going to kind of station himself near there.
Umber's also in a bed.
Oh.
Samson, go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to ask
what is Samson doing this entire time?
Everyone kind of left, and so I think Samson's sitting there with Umber, right? Or by where Umber's statue is.
Well, Umber's with Prearia. She's been carrying him around.
Yeah.
Unless he could walk back. He could walk back to the statue.
Yeah, you can put him back. You can put him back by the statue. That's where Umber wants to be, anyways.
Let's say that when they all went for the walk, that I at some point while they were walking, I came back. Samson came back and picked up Umber and took her back to the statue because he was done helping all the people around who may or may not become collateral damage, but depending on the choices they make. And so I think Samson doesn't feel sad for Uramir's death. He died for the best reason you could, and everyone got to say goodbye before he left. And so he doesn't feel any sadness for Uramir, but I think not with the way he looks at life anyway, especially mortal lives. I think that Samson would probably sit by the statue where Umber is, and while everyone was gone, I feel like Samson would have a moment with Umber there, where he just tells Umber what happened since they were gone. Like in lieu of telling Uramir, he's going to tell Umber the story, what happened in the Feywild, because he doesn't know, and he can't. He probably won't remember. He's not a being like that, but I think it's good for Samson to tell the story of what happened since. So he just tells the story to Umber, as if he were telling it earlier.
You tell the long tale of your adventures with the Silent, and Umber's wings click and clack as they move and shift slightly and tremble as he listens to you, for as far as you know. His little light above his head growing bright and then dimmer. And When you finish, he stretches out one of his wings and just very trembling, like places it on your hand and leans over as if to go to sleep.
He's the bestest of boys. He's a good little robot.
And the lights brighten and dim as the candles flicker underneath this memorial. As if this last piece of Urimir has been waiting for you all to come back to say your final goodbyes. And as this cavern beneath the Undercity inhales one last time, so does this last piece of Urimir. The lights on Umber go out.
I think before we go to bed, Ludin will go over to Praeria and he'll be like, hey, so I don't know if you remember this, but a long time ago, I gave you a letter and I asked you to hold on to it for me.
Still have it.
Yeah, do you mind if I take it? I think I might want to at least let Urimir know tomorrow what it said.
Not at all.
Thank you.
She'll fish it out of one of her pockets.
Yeah, Ludo will pull it out and he'll take off. He had a little bag way back when Urimir initially first died with all the ashes of the Archbane in it. And so he'll place the letter and the ashes next to him as he sleeps, so that in the morning, when they're actually supposed to show all of what they're supposed to say, that he'll be prepared. And he'll go to sleep.
You all make your way back, and you take your long rest. And unless there's anything else you want to do, I think that is where we will end tonight's session.
Can we read it? I would rather go ahead and read my thing tonight, because I don't know if I'll feel the same way next week.
Nah, just get it out. Get it out now.
Read it.
All right, cool.
Read it.
Read it.
Read it.
So this was literally like November when I wrote this letter, way back when. But I guess Luna will walk over, pull out his bag of the Archbane ashes, and just place them next to Urimir. Unfold the letter, and he'll say, "Hey, ma'am, I know you got the first part of this, but I know you said you never wanted to know, but I went ahead and I wrote this, and this is the one that I didn't send to you. But yeah, anyway, here it is. I know you just left, but it feels like a lot longer than just a few weeks. I want you to know that I meant what I said when we had our last real conversation. I'm happy that you found what you were looking for, and you don't owe us anything. You know, for once in a long time, I'm guessing you're happy." And Ludin will look around and go like, "Yeah, and by the looks of things, it seems like you were like you're really happy. So hold on to that for me. It makes it feel like somehow all of this crap was worth it. And you know, it's funny that when I came to this party, I was looking for a family. I wanted something like me and Logan had. I wanted something that made me and my older brother had. But what I got was something so much better. I got whatever the heck we had, Uri. This argumentative, dysfunctional, functional relationship. It's perfect. Over these past couple of weeks, I started to realize how much we were like, brothers in tragedy are still brothers after all, right? Although I still maintain that I wish I would have never known earlier the lies that I was living, if not just for my sanity, for the fact that we could have been way closer friends much sooner than the end. I think I would have also loved to have released you from that burden of being in a party with someone you thought had cursed with a tragedy. But what's done is done, and at least we made it. I know you don't have a stake in this game anymore, but I'm still in the thick of it. And to be honest, things are looking pretty bad, Uri. I told the party what Levi did to me. Of course, it didn't go over very well with Finn. The rest of the party offered their condolences, but didn't understand how to help. At least I don't think they did. To be fair, I didn't go into much detail on how Levi treated me growing up. From my perspective, I was the problem child. I was the second thought, and my mother just stood by while my stepfather treated me like crap. I just wanted out, I needed out, and that's why I went to Lacambria. It was my escape. Ironically, it was the key to my imprisonment. Now, I know you heard all of those things before, Uri, but the irony still finds its way through. I wasn't the only one that had their life ruined by Levi. Apparently, Esperisa's god didn't actually send her to our party. Yeah, that was Levi and Samson. Levi got him kicked out of the Feywild. Prey got it pretty bad. Levi was the one that started killing the roots in our home. You already know about me, but you don't know about you. Ermir, I don't know if anyone else in the party was thinking about telling you this, but you deserve to know. Levi had something to do with your mother or your father, very likely both. When we talked, I know you said you would never want to know. Maybe this is the most selfish thing I've ever done in my life. But Ermir, you deserve to know. Your father deserves to know. I think I'll leave it there, Ermir, and he'll close up the letter. You know most of the rest. There's a lot more to say, but at the end of it all, I think those first two lines still stand. It looks like you were really happy for once in a long time, and I'm happy I didn't tell you this when you were alive. So, the best that we can do is finish this for you. And I did want to tell you that I did miss my mother, but I got the happiness that I was looking for. And in our own ways, it looks like we were both right. Sometimes living in ignorance was the best way to do things, and sometimes knowing the truth can bring someone purpose. I think I have my purpose now. By the looks of things, you found yours. Bye, Uri. And then he'll go lay down and go to sleep.
You go and you sleep. And the weight of the city above weighs down on all of you. The weight of grief, but also lightness of fond memories. Because in grief, we remember. We remember the good times, not just the bad. We remember how these individuals impacted our lives. Just like the paint upon the walls, how Urmir had impacted all those people. So too did he impact each and every one of you. And it doesn't take a mural, doesn't take a memorial for you to remember any of that. And that is where we will end tonight's session. And thank you, everyone, for going on this emotional roller coaster with us this evening. Woo! Let me swivel my mic here so I can thank all of our new followers. Let's see here. Thank you, Danielle Lenoir, for the resub. 29 months. Happy Monday to you too. I know you're probably already asleep because I know you typically have to go around break because of work in the morning. But if you're still here, we love you. And if you're not, we still love you. Thank you, GF Powers 4, for the resub. They say, hi, folks. What shenanigans are we up to this week? Killing more innocents, LUL.
Well, there's definitely a dead innocent, but...
Thank you. I think it's tomato. It's spelled tomato with 2 0, but I think it's tomato. Thank you, Tomato, for the follow. And thank you, GF Powers 4, for the cheer of 100 bits. Thank you all so much. If you enjoy watching our show, you can follow us on Twitch, of course. Use that free Twitch Prime sub to help us continue to make content like this. We do Fate's End every single Monday at 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. This is our final arc. There are only a few episodes left, guys. We're almost there. This is the final countdown. But you can join us here on Monday on Fate's End. If you're new to the stream, you can catch up in our podcast format, or you can catch up on YouTube for all our old episodes as well. We have other shows here on the Ink and Lyre channel. Wednesdays we have our Iron Valor channel, where we are currently playing through Spelljammer. We also play through other Wizards of the Coast modules, but we are currently playing through Spelljammer. Deanna is in that game. What can we expect this Wednesday, Deanna?
We are currently in a rift between the plane of water and the plane of earth, where our goblin artificer Bleeznoink's ex-scientific partner has decided to overtake his parents' old laboratory and make his own holes between dimensions. We just finished a surfing competition, and now we're trying to figure out a way to close this rift so the entire dimensional astral sea does not slowly drain itself as water. Having a great time. Gonna fight some robots. Tune in. Good times.
Awesome. And that is DM'd by our very own Jake Hubsch. You can join us. Am I saying it wrong? Oh, God. That's what I've heard everyone say it. Hubsch. 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 Okay. Sorry, Jake.
Ignore almost every single letter in it. Just make
Sorry. I know Jake's listening tonight. I'm sorry, Jake. I don't think he's ever corrected me either. I've been saying it that way forever. You beautiful soul. But yes, you could join us Wednesday for that on Iron Valor. Our Iron Valor show is a little bit different too as well. You can use, if you've been watching this entire evening, you've been earning Valor tokens, which you can use to redeem on Iron Valor to grant luck to players. You can curse the DM, you can bless the party, and it's free. It doesn't cost any money. It's just a nice, free, fun little thing that we do to make our stream a little bit more interactive, where you can all participate. So that is, but that's Wednesday. Our Iron Valor show. Other than that, we are gonna raid, so stick with us. Thank you all so much for joining us. We will see you all next time. Bye, guys.